What's up, everybody? Welcome to High Speed Daddy. This is our weekly show, and this is an opportunity for us to bring thoughts to you in the parenting world, especially in a world that's as crazy as it is right now. And with me, I have three people that you've never seen before. In fact, you've probably seen the man known as Warrior Father Culture before. His name's Joey, active duty military, protecting our country on a daily basis. And then we also have Swimmer Joe over there to my, what is it, left, right? I don't know what it is. Swimmer Joe Hour. So Joe is a swim coach and also a dad, which qualifies him to be here. And then, of course, at the bottom, we have Jessica. Jessica is a teacher. She has been surviving the summer, doing virtual learning and all this other fun stuff. And now it's that time. It's August. And so people are slowly getting back to school, or let's just call it back to learning. Because whether you're going to a physical school or you're staying home, it's now time to turn those brains on again and start to focus. And Jessica, you've got a killer TikTok account. What is that TikTok account? Give us a shout out, because we gotta tell everybody about it.
Oh, my TikTok is Farmer Loves Phonics, and it is my teacher TikTok account. I have tons of reading TikToks that are really educational. I give a lot of information to parents about websites and books and phonics and all that good stuff. So yes, it is Farmer Loves Phonics.
All right, I love it. If you're down with TikTok, people, go check it out. I also am on TikTok at Lean Green Dad. I love dancing with my daughter. And Jessica's, though, serve a better purpose, which is to help people that are small learn how to read. So go check hers out.
Entertainment's important. Entertainment's important, okay?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And Joe, what's your TikTok handle, Joe?
I don't have TikTok.
I don't have a TikTok.
Oh, you're talking about that, Joey. You're talking about that.
Both,
I don't know which one.
You're both Joes. Okay, so I meant when I say Joe, I mean Joe Hour. And when I say Joey, that'll be you, Joey. All right, Joe, what's your TikTok handle?
I don't have a TikTok handle.
I know.
I only know the TikTok in the morning when at 5 a.m. when the alarm goes off. That's the only darn TikTok that I have, which is crazy.
I love it. And Joey, you do not do a TikTok. Is that correct?
No. My job told me not to.
I was gonna say, dude, that's strictly forbidden. There's a lot of stuff going on around that right now. All right.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get right into the show. It's gonna be a quick one today, but guys, I just want to give a huge shout out to our friends at Culture City for letting us broadcast live on their channel. Culture City helps kids all around the world that are dealing with sensory struggles. And we love our Casey parents. I am a proud donor to Culture City. So, just wanted to give them some love. All right. So today, guys, we are talking about going back to school. All right. And whether, like I said before, whether you're going back to school, to a physical school, or whether you're going back to school with like a virtual learning, or you're going back with a mix, it's going to be a bit of a challenge. Okay. And so, Jessica's a teacher, so we'll have her perspective. Joe has been in the school system for a long time. He is a coach of kids. And then Joey, I just love to hear your opinion. So that's why you're here.
Thanks.
But listen, Joey, I know that your little ones, you have two, right? What are their ages again?
So my one that was just born just hit 2 months, August 3rd. And then I have another one that'll be 2 August 11th. And because our 2-year-old is, I don't know if I'd call him advanced or not or whatever, but we have started some pre-K stuff with him already, just because he's actually understanding and grasping a lot. So there is some stuff that we do with him normally. So
wow. So you said 2
so you probably haven't slept. He probably hasn't slept at all for 2 years, Corey. Looks good for no sleep after 2 years.
You probably got 1 year.
My wife does a good job adjusting.
That's amazing. Amazing. While working at the same time, right? I mean, that's nuts. I mean, you're working.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know if you heard. His
Whoa,
phone dropped.
We lost.
You're cutting in and out.
We lost Joey. All right, well,
you're cutting in and out. I couldn't hear you.
I was just saying you're actively working right now too, at the same time as being a dad of a newborn. You got it going on.
We're going into work back and forth. It's like a weird schedule, not fully there, but because of my billet and things that I do with that, I've had to be there sometimes whole weeks at a time. So it does get crazy for sure.
Right on. All right, Joe, what are you noticing in the practices? What are you noticing with the kids that are headed to the pool? Is it different? Is it feeling a little strange? Now, guys, I know you don't necessarily know who Joe is, okay? But he is connected to Olympic swimmers. Big deal. I love this guy. I've known him for a very long time. I mean, Joe, fill me in. What are you seeing? Because these kids are superior athletes. Are they nervous? Are they worried to go back? What's going on?
You know, some are nervous. Some are very nervous that people are getting close to them. In practice, you know, we try to stay 6 feet apart, 6 and 10 feet apart the entire time. And we regulate it from when they walk in the facility all the way to the pool. We separate the chairs. They get together. But you know what? They're all kids and they all want to get in each other's face and tell stories. Well, you know, they can do that 6 feet apart, but so we try to regulate the whole thing. We do have kids that have asthma, but they're great swimmers. So those kids have to watch out the most. It's in chlorine. They're swimming in disinfectant, so that always helps a lot. The gas stays low to the surface, so that helps a lot. What they're nervous about is going back to school, though, because at a lot of these schools that were built, you know, 20, 30, 40 years ago, they have one main artery that's like the main street of the schools, and all the lockers are straight down. And you know, what are we gonna do there? You know, so they're nervous about that. So I know that a lot of my swimmers are electing not to go back to school. So they're gonna either do the launch ed, if it works out properly, and then or the virtual school. So, and then they can train whenever they want. So they like that. They like that option.
Yeah. And I want to be clear, guys, and folks listening and watching, and maybe if you're watching on the replay, there is no right decision here. I want to be clear about that. There is no right decision. There's only what's right for your family. Okay. There's some families that have extraordinary circumstances. They don't have a choice. Their kids have to go back to school because they rely on, you know, the lunches. They rely on the parents having to go to work. Okay. So really, it would be wonderful if we all had the luxury to decide that we want to stay home, but not all of us have that luxury. Okay. So I just want to acknowledge that. And with that, I'll kind of throw it to Jessica. I mean, Jessica, you are on the front lines. You've done the virtual thing and you are slowly transitioning back to the in-person thing. And so, you know, what has been the biggest struggle for you as a teacher, and what advice would you have for parents that are sending their kids to physical school starting in the next week?
Yeah, I definitely think parents need to have open communication with the school. Right now, a lot of parents are making their choices about whether they're going to do face-to-face or they're going to do virtual, or if their county is doing a hybrid. It kind of depends on where you are. The whole state is kind of doing different things right now. So definitely just have open communication with the school and with your teacher. Know what's going to be expected. And if your kids are going to be expected to wear a mask all day, which in my county, they will need to be wearing their face covering all day, start practicing now because it's going to be a big transition for them. So they really need to practice even putting it on, taking it off, cleaning their hands before and after. It's going to be a lot of changes. So they need to kind of practice those things. And there are lots of great songs and videos on YouTube for kids. So that's really good to search for about hand washing and using the face covering and all those things.
Yeah, beautiful. And, you know, let's talk about just masks really quickly. Joey, in your training, you're a Marine, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In your Marine training, I'm guessing that they train you on how to use gas masks, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can you talk to me and give me some? Now, look, these are not gas masks. Okay. We're not talking about gas masks. It's massively different. But what percentage of kind of the mental side and the anxiety when you put something over your face plays into how you can hyperventilate and things like that?
Yeah, for sure. So when we do gas mask training, the first time you put on a gas mask, you put on a gas mask, and this thing completely seals all around here on your face, and then gets down to the bottom here, and you feel like you're in the smallest box in the world because it covers, like you're seeing out of this tiny eye box like this. So there's definitely that psychological factor, and then they put you in a small dark room and they fill it with gas, and then you put gas in your gas mask and you kind of clear it and all that. So very stressful. And definitely say, like, with that anxiety, like, an important thing is to just remember to breathe, those slow, steady breaths, and you know what to do to clear it and everything like that. So how that would apply to putting on masks in normal life is Well, you want to make sure that you wear a mask that fits. If you have a very loose-fitting mask, it's not going to do the job that it was meant to do. So if you actually have one that's not too tight, because if you have one that's leaving marks on and stuff like that, first off, you're not going to want to wear it that long, and second off, it could actually just do more harm than good. So proper fitting mask actually really does matter. And then one thing I've noticed, because I've had to wear masks almost all day, like when I went to work and stuff like that, behind the ears does start to get uncomfortable, and it does feel like it's starting to dig in there. So finding something that actually might, especially for your kids, just put behind there to actually like cushion it a little bit more, so that they feel comfortable wearing the mask, so they're more likely to keep it on throughout the day.
I love that, and I think that anxiety, I'm sure, transferring to civilians, right? Okay, like when I first went to the grocery store, I don't know if you guys remember this, but when I first went to the grocery store and everyone was wearing masks, I was having anxiety inside. Like, what is this? It really felt like an apocalypse, right? And yeah. I'm not trying to compare civilian life with, military training in any way, shape, or form, but there is a connection there, folks, in the sense that anxiety is way heightened in the military, in the middle of a dark room, going through the training that, people like Joey need to keep our country safe. But the thing is like, if he is capable of doing something like that, we are all capable of taking that step and being aware. And I think what I want to do, this is not about wear a mask, don't wear a mask. Y'all can follow the government guidelines for that stuff. Okay. I'm talking about staying calm, staying cool. Okay. And understanding that your mental state and the way that you kind of breathe and focus and stay calm is what will, for lack of a better word, like be contagious. Right. And I think that when you're talking about kids, and Jesse, you can back me up on this, if one kid starts freaking out about the masks, every kid's going to start freaking out. And if they're young, like yours, it's like one kid starts fidgeting, the rest are going to fidget. All of a sudden, I'm itchy, right? It's like yawns. If I yawn right now, all three of you are probably going to yawn, right?
I'll do it.
There he goes. But I mean,
I do it with the word yawn. With the word yawn, I'm yawning. Okay, go ahead.
Just saying, the word yawn, it's like a yawn. Jessica, do you agree? Like, do you have any tips for teachers or parents to kind of help prevent the freak out nature and the fidgetiness of the masks, or are we just doomed? I mean, my 5-year-old's like, forget it. Like, he's gonna touch the mask. So I don't know.
I think kids are really quick learners, and I think you have to give them more credit than they get sometimes. I think they'll adapt really quickly, and they're usually better for their teacher than they are for their parents most of the time. So I think if they see all their friends doing it, and as long as the teacher's staying positive about it, I think they'll have no problem doing it.
Beautiful. Well, you mentioned that, and we have little kids that are coming in at 4 years old, and we have a flippers class, and it's so cute because they all have their mask on. And then they all go to the side of the pool with their mask on. So it's these little kids in the big mask, and they seem to be doing okay because we tell them to do it every single day. So now it's no problem for them at all. And then also for our seniors, for the senior group that I coach, they keep them on during our dry. This is higher level stuff because it's very hot out and we don't want them to have heat illness. But so they're working out in them, they're doing dry land in them, and then they're also going into the weight room with them and lifting with their mask on. So it's all possible. And I'm sure all of you've seen the guy that won the 10K wearing a mask the entire time. So it's possible to do it long periods of time. I do it 6 hours a day. Joey says he does it all day. So, I mean, it's possible. It's just something you got to get used to. I guess the new normal for now anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Joey, what are you finding at work? This is going to be my last question to you, is kind of like, at work, are you seeing guys that are kind of like, nervous about their kids going back to school? Are they cool with it? Like, what's the general feeling?
Yeah, so while all this has gone on too, we've still had like our CDCs, our daycare centers have been open, and they've been actually sending their kids there. So they've already kind of like had a little bit of a working period for where they like understanding pretty much like, okay, I'm sending my kid here. These are the risks. And kind of like what Jessica was saying earlier, a big thing is like open lines of communication. There was a case that happened at one of the CDCs and they didn't tell anybody. And the kids were still getting sent there. And it was like, okay, well, that's not really open lines of communication. But having those open line of communication and then them expressing to their kids I had a conversation with one of my buddies at work because he has 2 kids that are in daycare right now, and he was like trying to get them to wear masks is like one of the most impossible things in the world. But when they go to daycare, they're supposed to wear them, and they have been. So kind of like you were saying, they'll do it for their teachers, but they won't do it for their parents.
Yeah.
So they're definitely nervous, but it's just one of those things that's taking time as it's gone on, and as it is becoming more the norm. They've definitely gotten easier, and they found more ways to adjust to things. And I mean, as a Marine, you always improvise, adapt, and overcome, right? And so that's all we've done with all this craziness, and trying to teach that to our kids too, is just improvising, adapting, and overcoming no matter what comes at you. So,
Corey, you know what I think? You mentioned that the communication is key, and it is, because I know that my kids, if they mention to me that they feel sick or anything, they know that they have to sit out 14 days, and then they know that they've done nothing since March 1st. So now they're going, I have to sit out 14 days. I mean, I can't afford that in swimming. Right. So that's what they're afraid of. So, and I tell them, hey, look, you have to, because the people that were in your pod, your lanes, your whatever, they have to sit out too.
yeah.
So, that's the whole communications thing that some kids don't want to do. So that's what we have to tell them is just boost communication big time. It's not a big deal 2 weeks out of your life if you have to sit out for 2 weeks.
I've taken away so much from this, guys, and I hope that you have too. I mean, we have some pretty unique perspectives from everyone that's on this show. I'm honored that all of you were able to join me, even just for a few minutes. My takeaways, my big ones, are open lines of communication, folks, not only with your teachers, but between husband and wife, between partners. You got to have that open line of communication.
Wait, we have to talk to them?
We absolutely. And then
I didn't know we had to talk to them.
I love it. I love it. Hey, and Joey, with the improvise, adapt, and overcome. I love that. And let's make that apply in the civilian life, folks. What can you do to help improvise, adapt, and overcome? And what can you do to be an asset to your teachers? Because let's be honest, the teachers are the heroes of this entire country right now, and we need to support them. We need to do whatever we can to make their lives easier. So ask your teachers what you can do, whether it's a digital, a virtual thing, or it's in person, because we all have a heightened sense of anxiety right now. And I think anything we can do to help our kids stay relaxed by leading by example is always going to win for all of us. So with that, I'm going to say thank you to everyone for watching. High Speed Daddy is here as a resource to help you improvise, adapt, and overcome. And we also help dads provide, protect, and connect. That is the whole mission of High Speed Daddy. That's why we're here. They also sell pretty cool dad gear and backpacks and things like that too. So go check them out over at highspeeddaddy.com. There it is. Joey's got it right there. So thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you next week. Have a great day, everyone.